Pelupod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but want to be its friend.
That's adorable. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Moiya McTier. I'm an astrophysicist, a folklorist, and a friend to the universe.
It's true. And I am Corinne Caputo. I'm a writer and a funny person and a friend to the universe.
Yes, we're buds.
And I'm so glad we're here. This is nearly the first place we've met, which is the green room at a comedy theater.
That is, we met in one of those places, yes. This isn't the exact same green room, but, you know, if you've been in one green room.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
Some are nicer than others.
Yeah, not all of them are green, though.
No, I do wish they were.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who aren't theater kids and don't know what a green room is, Corinne, can you paint us a little picture?
It's kind of a room off to the side of the stage or behind it for performers to get ready or do their makeup, chill out, change, leave their stuff before they take the stage for the show.
Yeah.
And it's often full of props and chairs and lamps, and it's sticky, and there's people shuffling about. But there's something really special about them. There's a lot of excitement and a lot of just like everyone's dedicated to the event that you're about to do. And I love that camaraderie. Yes.
I love being in a green room. I love seeing people's like little pre-performance rituals.
I love seeing, like, it's also where, if it's at a comedy show or like the run of show will be posted. So you're kind of like, you know, who's going when or like what events are happening in the 2 hours you have the show going. And I love seeing other people's like sets still there or in the trash or something.
Yeah. It really shows like the continuity of the venue.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. And I love this space. Thank you for bringing us here.
Of course.
Is there a reason you brought us here today?
Today we're talking about something very silly, and I figured this would be the room to prep for a silly thing.
Yay! Yes, astronomers, I don't know if other fields have this, but astronomers at least have this very silly and quirky and like endearing cultural practice of publishing joke papers on April Fools. And
I love it.
This episode is coming out a couple weeks after April Fools. We are recording it a little bit before April Fools. So we just wanted to tell you about this cultural practice and go over some of the hilarious papers that astronomers have written in the last few years. This started, when do you think this started, Corinne? Like, how long have we been doing this?
I could see it being like something from the 80s, but maybe it's more recent. Maybe it's from the early aughts. I don't know why I'm drawn to, like, the 1900s.
Aren't we all? It's the nostalgia. It's strong.
Yeah, it's like the sitcom era of Friends and Seinfeld of the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, around that time. As far as I could tell, we've been doing this since 2002. That's when I think the first papers were. So since about 2002, astronomers have been posting joke papers to the archive. That's ARXIV. This is a popular free repository for scientific articles. So you can go to the archive and read free papers, not just in astrophysics, in some other things. I'm going to get to that.
Maybe you'll get to this. Are they marked in any way as like, this is fake?
The April Fool's jokes papers?
The joke papers, yeah.
No. No, they are not. I was going to get to this in a sec, but let's just talk about it now. The papers on the archive are not peer-reviewed. They are posted on the archive separate from submitting it to a peer-reviewed journal. The whole purpose of the archive is to make these papers available for free because usually there's a paywall for these journals. So most of the papers that you find on archive are eventually, or like they eventually were, peer-reviewed. But that is not a prerequisite. Anyone can submit a paper to the archive if they register as a user. So it's like archive.com. Any of you can do it. They do have moderators who will remove irrelevant or offensive submissions, but they play along with the April Fool's thing.
That's fun.
Yeah. So there are even some papers where it's like hard to tell if they're part of the April Fool's thing or not. So like if they post on April 1st or April 2nd or something, then it's usually pretty clear.
You can bet. Yeah. I do feel like you have to be very careful on April 1st going online. Yeah. Because you're going to get tricked.
Yeah, you need to practice your media literacy skills, friends.
Moiya, I just remembered in middle school, I had this pair of earrings that I was nervous to wear because I
Ooh.
thought I could maybe, I don't know, get made fun of or something. They were just like kind of colorful. So I was like, I'll wear them on April Fool's Day. And if anyone says anything to me, I'll just say it's because it's April Fool's Day.
Wait, that's sad and brilliant.
It worked. Like, nobody said anything. I don't think no one was going to say anything anyway. I was just like an anxious person, and I still am. But then I only associated them with April Fools, so I never wore them again because I didn't have the safety net.
Do you still have them?
Maybe they're at home in my childhood room, but I doubt it. I remember what they look like, though. Right. They were just like, I don't know, dangly with a few colors.
Oh, your April Fool's earrings.
my poor anxious childhood.
Oh, that is smart, though. I might
thought it was clever.
Use that. Yeah, for sure. Corinne, do you have any idea how this practice might have started?
I don't know. I would start doing this just because I think it's funny.
Yes. The origin is hilarious. It seems to have started with an academic beef, probably not serious, between the Department of Planetary Sciences Lunar Planetary Lab and the Steward Observatory, both at University of Arizona. These are technically two distinct graduate programs. They have their own students that apply separately, but they work very closely together. So this practice seems to have started in 2002 with these these grad departments just publishing. One paper was 1 page, and then the next was 2 pages, just back to back. Diss tracks in academic article form.
That's really fun. And that was probably a really fun graduating class.
Yes, I think so. So it was the Department of Planetary Sciences that struck first. They wrote on April Fool's a 1-page paper talking about how the grad students at Steward Observatory suck. They had graphs. They had a list they had a bullet point list of reasons why the Steward Observatory students suck. The very next day, Steward Observatory students retaliated. They mic dropped with a 2-page retort, and the mic drop at the end was, and I quote, 10 grad students joined our program this year, but they only got 3.
Oh my God, that does feel like a really big burn.
In academic settings, Corinne, that's one of the harshest things you can say.
Oh my gosh.
So that's how it started. And we have been doing this every year since. There's been like a joke paper every year since. Just a little bit more. I wanted to say a bit more about how the typical publishing to archive process works. New articles are posted every 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. So it does seem like they respect the weekend boundary, which is nice because they like post them the night before Monday so you can read them before you're getting started for the week. But they will not post them on Friday nights because they're like, no, you are going to have fun for the weekend.
It's time for you to go out. Yes.
It's time for you to go practice being a normal person.
Get off the archive.
Yes, please. There are about 600 papers posted to the archive every single day, and it's mostly physics, but they also cover math, computer science, statistics, maybe some like bio stuff, but they have a lot of different disciplines covered. Okay, that's the archive. I have selected for you 3 different papers, 3 different joke papers, one from 2023, one from 22, and one from 21, and then I have 4 honorable mentions. I think there were a few dozen of these. I also think you're gonna really like the titles of these, and that is how I chose some of the honorable mentions. Okay. Paper number 1. Party planning the next true happy new year, lunar orbital evolution epochs with integer synodic months per year. It doesn't sound very interesting, does it?
This could be real to me.
I know. We do sometimes try to make it seem real. I've never written one of these April Fool's papers, but like people will spend months working on this.
Yeah.
This paper was written by Mark Poppinchock in 2023. Mark actually is a personal friend. Hey, Mark.
Mark was on astronaut training.
That does track. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mark is definitely enmeshed in the New York City astronomy SciComm scene. So he wrote this paper last year in 2023. He was trying to predict the next time all of the calendars around the world can unite in celebrating New Year's at the exact same time. So if you don't know fully why this would be so tricky, go back and listen to our calendar episode. We released it right before Leap Day this year, but I will explain part of it. Cultures around the world, some use a solar calendar, some use a lunar calendar, some use a lunisolar calendar. So there are a bunch of different times where different cultures have their year start, and the smart ones have it in spring.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say that.
I agree.
The silly ones, we do it in the dead of winter.
No, that's...
Why?
I do need a restart in the winter, but not January. I need it in March.
Yeah, like when the sun is coming back and when the birds are chirping and things are green, that's when we need it. But there is so much mismatch between all of these different calendars because our solar system was not designed with our comfort in mind. It was not designed with mathematical ease in mind. It was just thrown together haphazardly by the universe. And so there is currently not an integer number of months in a year. There's also not an integer number of days in a year, which is why we have leap year and leap day and that whole mess. But months to years, that's a very complicated thing. There are 12.368 synodic months in a year. There are also multiple ways to define what a month is, Corinne. Have we talked about this before?
I don't think so.
An eclipse episode or something?
If we have, I've forgotten.
So there is the synodic month. That's the amount of time it takes the moon to go through one full set of phases. So from new moon to new moon. There's also a sidereal month, which is the amount of time it takes the moon to get back to the same position relative to the distant fixed stars.
Okay.
The synodic month, the phases, that is a little bit longer than the sidereal month because to get to the back to the new moon phase, the moon has to move a little bit longer, like for a couple extra days to make up for the fact that the Earth has also moved in that time.
Ah, okay.
Because it really has to be in the same position relative to the Earth and the Sun for a synodic month, whereas the sidereal month is same position relative to the fixed star, so that doesn't take as long. There's also something called a draconic month.
What's that?
Which I just learned about last month, and it is the amount of time it takes for the moon to go from one of its nodes, one of its ascending or descending nodes, back to the same node. So an ascending or descending node is the place in its orbit where the moon crosses its orbital plane, where it goes from above the Earth to below the Earth because it's tilted a little bit. Its orbital plane is tilted. So there are all sorts of different ways to define what a month is, but none of them have an integer number of months in a year. So Mark's goal was to use this information about the lengths of a month to figure out when cultures could all have the same New Year. When will there be an integer number of months in a year?
Oh, that's so fun.
Exactly 12 or exactly 13, because then all of the different calendars can just agree on a day to celebrate New Year. And that is possible because our system is dynamic. It's changing over time. The moon is moving away from us by about 1.5 inches every single year, and the Earth's rotation is spinning down. So our days are getting longer by 2 milliseconds every century. So it's a tiny effect, but still our days are getting longer. And the moon is moving away from us, so the months are getting longer.
Wow.
Yes, because it's gonna have to take more time. That happens because the interactions between Earth and the moon that causes the tides, well, friction from those tides slows the Earth down. That's why our rotation is getting slower. And then that causes the system to lose angular momentum. So kind of like an ice skater, when they bring their arms in and they start spinning really fast, the opposite is kind of happening. The system has lost angular momentum, so it's like the ice skater putting their arms back out.
Yes, okay.
So the moon is going back out to make up for the loss of angular momentum. So the months are getting longer, and Mark goes through a bunch of different types of evidence to show this effect. And then he times when the true Happy New Year's can happen. So at what points in time will one year be exactly 12, 13, or 14 months. Around 1 billion years ago, 1 year was exactly 14 months. And Mark identifies this as the Tonian period of the Proterozoic era. Around 400 million years ago, 1 year was exactly 13 months. So this would be the Carboniferous period during the Paleozoic era. So I guess when there's a lot of carbon in the atmosphere, maybe? Sure, why not? I don't know. I'm not a geologist. And then for a brief period, in about 250 million years, 1 year will be exactly 12 months. So Mark is like, yeah, in 250 million years, if the humans are still around, we can all, around the world, experience the one true Happy New Year party.
Okay, I can wait. I can wait for that. I can hold out for that.
Yeah, let's just all put it on our calendars.
Yeah.
And I have had the pleasure of seeing Mark, like, perform this paper, like, give a talk about this paper.
Oh,
and
that's so fun.
It's hilarious. So, yeah, obviously for our patrons, all of these papers are going to be in the research notes. So you can just go to those links on our Patreon. That was paper number 1. Are you ready for paper number 2? I think you'll really like it.
I'm ready.
Or maybe you'll hate it because it will take joy out of something you like. So you like The Bachelor, right?
I haven't watched it in many years, but I love knowing what's going on. I still follow some of the people from that universe, so I'm like tangentially keeping up on Instagram.
Okay. So this paper from 2022 by Abigail Lee et al. And et al. Is what academics say when there are more than 3 authors on a paper.
Yes.
So if there's one author, we would say Abigail Lee 2022. If there are 2 authors, we would say Lee and Watson 2022. We would do that for 3 authors too, Watson, Lee, and Crick or whatever. And then if there's more than 3, we would just say the first author et al. So this paper is by Abigail Lee et al. And it's called Predicting Winners of the Reality TV Dating Show The Bachelor Using Machine Learning Algorithms.
Oh, yay! This is what AI should be for. It should not be trying to be a screenwriter or any creative thing. It should just be for this kind of thing.
Yes, you're right. This is the perfect application. I read through this paper. I went through their methods, their results, their conclusions. They collected data on 422 contestants that participated in seasons 11 through 25 of The Bachelor. Whoa. And they collected data about their age, hometown, career, race, the week they got their first one-on-one date, and whether they got the first impression rose, and what place they ended up getting. Do they have places in The Bachelor?
I guess they kind of like only 4 go to like hometowns, or like, and only 3 go to like the fantasy suite, I guess. It's probably the order you were eliminated.
Got it. Do you know what this first impression rose is?
Yes, that happens in the very first episode when the Bachelor, Bachelorette meets all of the contestants, and at the end of the episode gives a rose to whoever made the best first impression. And it's kind of given, the roses are usually given during a ceremony, but there are occasional moments when the rose can be given like randomly during the dinner or during just the hangout.
Okay.
And that's
lots of roses.
I think that it's always a rose, yeah. The first impression rose, I think, often is the winner, is sometimes predictive of who wins the whole thing.
Oh, well, let's see what the machine learning algorithm has to say, Corinne. So that's the data that they collected. They trained 3 different machine learning models to predict the ideal characteristics for Bachelor contestants, and it was consistent across all 3 models, the findings. So the highest probability of a contestant winning, these are the characteristics she has. She's 26 years old. She's white, from the Northwest.
Yep.
She works as a dancer.
A dancer?
She received a one-on-one date in week 6, and she did not receive the first impression rose.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting.
That's the game you want to play when you get on.
So now contestants can use this paper to try and game the system, although there was some discussion of that in the discussion section of this paper. The paper does a couple other things. It describes the format of The Bachelor. It provides some statistical observations. For example, did you know that out of all 26 seasons, only 1 woman of color has ended up with The Bachelor, and it was Catherine Lowe in season 17, who's Filipino-American.
I did not know that.
1 of 26.
Wow.
It's disgusting. Ugh. I am angry. So it pointed out some interesting statistics like that. It also tracked the decline in ratings and viewership over time for The Bachelor. The paper contributes that decline to, they think, 2 different things. The first is that a lot of contestants, like more contestants every year, are there to become influencers and not find love, and the audience can feel that like lack of genuine interest.
Yes, this is my big problem with reality TV now. No one's being a lunatic because they are one. Everyone's being crazy because they want Instagram followers. And I miss when people just accidentally made huge mistakes on television and I got to judge it from my home.
Yes. I also just want the people who go there to actually end up in love, which means the people who are there should be looking for love. This came up on Love is Blind this year too. People complaining that very few were there for love.
Yes, and everyone had a partner at home that was secret or etc.
Wild. So that was one reason. They're people are chasing clout, and there's too much meddling from the production crew.
Yeah.
We can all see it. We all know what's happening.
I know what's going on.
And so they pointed this out, and they provided some advice for the Bachelor producer. So if anyone listening is a producer or works on the Bachelor franchise, please show them this paper, because academics have something to say. They believe that The Bachelor should switch up the format between the seasons. And that'll keep it exciting for viewers who have been watching this for 26 seasons. Not too much. Don't switch it up too much.
Yeah.
But just a little bit. Because then it makes it more interesting for the viewers, but it also makes it more difficult for people who are just trying to chase clout to come on and game the system.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
You gotta keep the game fresh so that people don't know how to play it.
And it's small changes. It's I think the current season of The Bachelorette, are there 2 Bachelorettes or something?
I don't even know. I'm so out of touch with the world. I saw a commercial for The Voice, and it was and this year there's a double chair. And I was I have no idea what that means. There's a whole group of people who are so fluent in network television, and I'm so out of it.
Yeah. But the gist, I think, is good for any long-running show. Switch up your format a little bit.
Agree.
They also think they should screen for influencers, either only accept people who don't have social media accounts or social media followings, or just do they do so much psychological screening anyway.
I know.
They can screen out people who are just there to be influencers.
Yeah.
But I don't think the show would ever do that, because they want people who will draw in viewers.
And draw more people. And so many Bachelor contestants create a living out of recapping the next season of The Bachelor. So it's just this kind of, snake eating itself.
Exactly. Their third piece of advice was that the people who are on Bachelors in Paradise should be randomly selected. It seems like they were saying right now, Bachelors in Paradise contestants are selected to maximize drama from the pool of previous contestants. Ooh. Is that how Bachelors in Paradise works?
Yes. Bachelor in Paradise is the villains, or maybe the people who were beloved but sent home early. And Bachelor in Paradise has less rules. Or not less rules. It's just couple, you can date many people. It's not you're all dating one person.
Okay.
So you might go there and connect with one guy, but then go talk to another one.
Okay. That makes their point make more sense, because they were saying if you randomly select some people for Bachelor in Paradise, that will de-incentivize all of the dramatic behavior on the regular Bachelor show.
That's true.
But they want the drama. The drama is what brings the viewers.
And I want the drama too. I just want more organic drama.
Yes, agreed.
Hey, it's me, Corinne, with our weekly huge thank you to our patrons who support the show every single month. So thank you to our Sun-like stars, Sharon Llewellyn, Lissa, Scott Reynolds, Ian O'Leary, Augustin, Tom T., and our latest pre-main sequence star, Sean F. And of course, you can support us and hear your name on the show, make it to our patron star chart, all by supporting us on Patreon for just about $1 per episode. And if you sign up for an annual membership, you get a 13% discount. You can find the star chart, Patreon info, and more at our website, palebluepod.com, or by going right to patreon.com/palebluepod. And if you can't support us financially, of course, that is totally fine. We still love you very much. You can review us, share the show with your friends, and just keep listening. We love that. And if you wish you had more Multitude shows to catch up on, I have really good news. There are. Members of the Multi-Crew get a whole RSS feed of bonus audio, including our newest show, the Multi-Crew Review. Every month, Julia of Spirits and Join the Party sits down with another member of Multitude to talk about something that they love and think you'll love too. I talked about Vanderpump Rules for too long, but I do think it's a really fun episode, and you can listen to that. And of course, you can listen to episodes about video games and albums or activities like gardening. We share our passions and hope that it will introduce you to something that you might love. Along with Head, Heart, Gut, Multi-Crew Review is exclusively for members of the Multi-Crew, our membership program that helps all of Multitude. You can get Multi-Crew Review and Head, Heart, Gut, as well as other audio exclusives by going right to multicrew.club and sign up today. Okay, back to our silly episode.
Any thoughts on that paper?
Love that paper. That's an area where, like, I want so much data on reality TV. Like, you can give it all to me, because I am just so fascinated by it. And I think I'm already so involved in the world of watching select reality shows that I'm like, it's just such an easy way in to, like, get me excited about math.
Yeah, exactly. This could be a very nice outreach thing.
Yeah. It's like when universities start offering classes on, like, Taylor Swift or something. I'm like, you could be trying to secretly teach me trigonometry, but when you say that it's because of Taylor Swift, like, I'll sign up.
Well, speaking of, let's move on to paper 3. This is from Megan Mansfield and Daryl Seligman in 2021. It's called I Knew You Were Trouble, Emotional Trends in the Repertoire of Taylor Swift.
Ooh.
They attempted to quantify the emotional state in Taylor Swift songs and track trends over time, doing this like basically through her entire career. This was published in 2021 though, so this is their information, their data spans 14 years. I don't know enough about her career to say what albums they were, but I think it stopped at like Folklore, maybe?
2021? Yeah, probably Folklore, Evermore. I forget
Evermore.
which of those two came first, but those were her, like, COVID albums.
Okay, cool. So all of those records from her first, which was apparently just called Taylor Swift. I learned that today.
Yeah, her debut self-titled EP.
There you go. They were looking at two different factors, or they were like quantifying two different factors. One was the level of optimism that seemed present in the song. And the other was the strength of commitment to the relationship that she was talking about in the song.
Ooh.
They applied this analysis to 149 different songs. These were all of her songs that expressed emotion over specifically interpersonal relationships. So these are not covers. These are not commissions. So they're not songs that she was asked to make for like a movie or something.
Yeah.
And they're not collaborations where she is not the principal songwriter. Okay. It also excludes 5 songs that the authors determined were about, and I quote, nostalgia for childhood. Instead of being about relationships.
Yep, sure.
So the way they defined the happiness factor, the happiness quotient, there were 4 different factors. One was, how does Taylor Swift seem to feel about herself in this song? The second was, what does her outlook on life seem to be? So like internal versus external feelings. The third was like, what is the nature of this emotion? And it could go either way, positive or negative. If negative, what stage of grief does she seem to be in? And if positive, does that seem to like have any bearing on her like outlook for the future?
Okay.
And then the 4th criteria was the tempo and just like the feel of the song. Does it feel happy or does it feel sad? And all of these were quantified on a scale from -3 to +3. So overall, in the happiness quotient, it could range from -12 to +12. Okay. I think that they missed an opportunity going for 13 there, but my bad.
It's the Taylor Swift universe. You have to lean in.
Exactly. They also produced a Python package. They produced a package that you could use in the coding language Python. So you could download this package on your computer. If you have, I know that they can do this on Windows, I have a Mac. It's really easy. You just like go to your terminal window and you type in pip Taylor Swift. They call their package Taylor Swift. So you could download the Taylor Swift package to your computer. It's available on GitHub. It takes user input on their current relationship status and emotional state and provides suggestions of suitable Taylor Swift songs to match their mood.
That's so funny. I need this, but for like what I should watch on TV.
Yes. Yes, it can. I really would like a more generalized, like adaptable version of this package. You're right. They end that section talking about the package by saying, "We anticipate this code being of broad use to the community." And they found some trends. They found overall trends towards positive feelings and increasingly strong relationships over those 14 years. They did. They said something in the article about how it's not that each individual album, like over the albums, they saw a trend, but it's like at the individual song level.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. As she gets older, like, relationships get stronger or,
yes. Yeah. So they pointed that out. And they also said that it seemed that the pandemic had offered opportunities for, like, stronger reflection and growth and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
They did find tentative indications that partners with blue eyes and or bad reputations may lead to overall less positive emotions.
Okay.
While those with green or indigo colored eyes may produce more positive emotions and stronger relationships. That is all a quote. That is all a direct quote from this paper, which I love so much.
Wow.
So yeah, quantitatively, science says that Taylor Swift is getting happier. And this is before Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it must be through the roof now.
Mm-hmm. I would really like to see how this analysis changes with that extra information.
We'll just have to wait for that album. I think the album that's coming out, maybe right when this episode comes out, is going to be quite sad, is my guess.
Oh.
We'll see.
I do not know enough about this woman.
You don't need to.
To say that.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you anything that's important. I'll just send you a Slack. But
thank you. Please
very
do.
Little.
Keep me updated because I don't have the energy to keep up with her.
There's a lot going on, and in my opinion, too much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Those are the 3 papers I wanted to describe in detail, but I did look through this whole list of joke paper titles, and there were some amazing ones that stood out. So I had to include 4 honorable mentions. The first is what I think is the first, like, actually silly paper. There was the beef in 2002,
yeah.
But I think the first real silly April Fool's paper.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because I was going to mention, like, from the ones you pulled, they're just way more serious than I thought. Like, the topics are funny, but, like, the work is there.
Yes.
And I think I was expecting them to be way unfounded and just, like, completely goofy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it kind of runs the gamut. I did pick ones because it seems like the more recent ones are applying legit scientific methods to silly stuff.
Yes, and I love that.
That seems to be the recent trend. Yeah.
It surprised me in a good way.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think earlier on, people were just, like, doing goofy things. I did also skip over some of the just, like, goofy ones that I didn't, like, I kind of didn't get all the jokes.
That's fair.
You know? Yeah.
Hey, they're scientists. They can't always be funny, too.
You're right. I mean, they're usually not.
But they try.
Yeah, well, some of them. So this is the first really silly one. It came out in 2012 by Eve Armstrong. She's written a couple. Like, she's written a few of these really funny ones. It was in 2012. The paper title is, quote, "Non-Detection of the Tooth Fairy at Optical Wavelengths." Is that silly? Is that silly, Corinne? Is that more like what you were expecting?
If it's about the tooth fairy.
It is actually about the tooth fairy.
Okay,
There's no
good.
acronym shenanigans happening here. So Eve Armstrong, a legitimate, like, doctor of physics or astrophysics, she had her wisdom teeth removed. She had a wisdom tooth removed one day, and I hope not that night, but sometime later, she slept out. I don't know if it was outside, but she slept, like, in a sleeping bag with a telescope pointed at her. And observed her sleeping all night to see if the telescope could observe the tooth fairy.
Yay.
And she goes into, like, the tooth fairy was not detectable down to a certain, like, optical limit. And it's just such a fun little study.
I love this.
Slept in front of a telescope and couldn't see the tooth fairy.
She did the work.
She did the work. But that does still, like, it's just optical wavelengths. I think that the field needs to return and do a multi-wavelength study just to see if perhaps the tooth fairy is only visible in the infrared or the ultraviolet or something. Yep. We don't know. She is very tiny. I could see her only being visible at the energetic wavelengths.
Yes. Oh, it's hard to see her. You need really expensive equipment.
Yes. The second honorable mention goes to a paper by Adev Paradise et al., published in 2019. It's called The Long Night, Modeling the Climate of Westeros. And I like when people use science to try and, uncover the truth behind fictional worlds. Like, that's kind of my whole thing. So I loved this paper. I'm guessing you can kind of figure out what it's about. Well,
that's a place from Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then it's like a climate study or something about this fictional world. That's really fun. They
were trying to figure out what the system looks like. In the Game of Thrones fictional universe, what does that planetary system actually look like to lead to that type of climate? Because it seems like they generally have a pretty moderate climate, but then it has occasional kind of irregular long winters.
Yes. That's so fun.
It's so fun. They used expensive climate models to simulate the Westerosi planet climate over thousands of years, just using these high-end models to simulate thousands of years of weather on a fictional world, because they were testing a specific hypothesis. Apparently, it's pretty common for people to propose this specific type of system. It's called a Sitnikov configuration, where there are two stars of equal mass, or you could have one star and a black hole, but they are of equal mass, and they're orbiting each other on eccentric orbits. And then they have a planet that orbits both of them, but not in the same plane, like perpendicular to that. So if the two stars are orbiting like horizontally, this planet is moving vertically around them.
Okay.
Like up and down. Yeah. It's easier if you can see me, which Corinne can, but listeners, I hope you also get what I'm saying.
I just remember this is not a visual medium.
Yeah. So the planet orbits in a plane that is at a right angle to the two stars. And they say that this configuration is possible if you limit the eccentricity of the stars and if you include, I'm sorry in advance, Corinne, a megastructure to block the sunlight sometimes when the planet is especially close.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to have to do that to you.
Me pulling my arm back at megastructures ready.
But it does seem more likely, according to the paper, that the long winter, that the long night is due to chaotic variations in the planet's tilt, more than just like a weird type of star situation.
By that? Yeah.
Although I doubt that George R.R. Martin or the producers of Game of Thrones have thought that much about the astronomy of the system.
Yeah.
From what I hear, I have not read the books, but from what I hear, George R.R. Martin's world building tends to focus on other things.
Sure.
Like the history of the world and like the interrelations between the families, and less on the astronomy. But, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, okay, two more honorable mentions. The first, I think you're just going to really like this title. As a matter of colon, I am not, capital N-O-T, digging cheeky titles. And then in parentheses, no, but actually, yes, with a little emoticon of, it's not just a simple colon parentheses for a smiley face, it's colon and then a greater than sign for the nose, and then the parentheses.
Cute.
That's the whole paper title.
Cute.
This is by Joanne Tan and Tien Suk. It was published in 2023. They went through a bunch of different papers on the archive, probably. or that have been published. And they ranked 6,000 of these papers in terms of title cheekiness. Official term, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they compared the citation counts for those different papers. I do want to take you through their scale system for cheekiness. So a scale of 1, a score of 1 would be a completely professional title. They say, quote, nothing to see here, not even a modicum of effort to be witty or cheeky.
Just doing the job. Yeah.
Bare minimum, ma'am. Rank number 2 is that there's a hint of an attempt. All right. It's so informal.
They tried.
Like, there's a hint of an attempt, all right? Rank 3 is fine, I smirked a little. Mm-hmm. Rank 4 is bad attempt, I rolled my eyes.
Yeah.
And rank 5 is this is so good, parentheses, either leading to maximum eye roll and head shaking or clapping my hands like a seal. Cringe or lit, there is no in between.
And they both get a rank 5, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. It could be really good or really bad. The official recommendation from this paper was to aim for level 4 cheekiness on this scale. And they also say that colons are indeed helpful in upping your citation count.
I believe that.
I love that we've studied this.
I believe that.
Yeah, because people want to be intrigued. They want their interest to be piqued, but they don't want to feel like you're not a serious scientist.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Already laughing at this one.
The fourth honorable mention goes to a paper by Marcy Best et al. From 2022. It's called The Parking Lot Planet. They wanted to find a planet that could house the perfect amusement park. And in their mind, the perfect amusement park has a parking lot that is roughly the same surface area. So they need a 2-planet system, or, at least 2 planets that are relatively close to each other to have the perfectly fun planet.
Sure.
Planet system. I love this paper because it required them to use the, quote, really habitable zone.
Sure.
So astronomers will sometimes talk about like the circumstellar habitable zone, or like the habitable zone around a star where the temperature is just right for liquid water. But the really habitable zone was proposed by a paper in 2020 by Pedbost et al. I almost said bedpost. But it does
look like that. It is flipped.
Yeah, this would be really hard to read fast. By Pedbost et al. 2020, the really habitable zone is the place around a star where the temperature is just right for a perfect gin and tonic.
I agree. I'm there. I'm so there.
Sometimes my people are so funny.
I love that.
Yes. Do you have a favorite from any of these papers?
Ooh, it's the Bachelor one for me. Mm-hmm. Or of the honorable mentions, I think the Tooth Fairy one.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just so fun.
But
so overall, the Bachelor one is like what I want. I want like hard data about just something I'm really into. And like I am going to see Taylor Swift this summer and I'm very excited. Mm-hmm. But I'm not like super in the like Swiftie universe, but it did come across my like one of my feeds once of like this data of the songs she's played at her shows, when, what, like, and I love that. I loved looking at the data and seeing if there's a pattern or seeing if there's just something fun, or if you can like predict what the next show would be like. And I feel like the Bachelor paper hits that same those same chords for me.
Yeah. I want that for all of the reality dating shows I watch. I want
should
that
have
for
been putting that
Love
together.
Island.
I'm doing a rewatch of Vanderpump Rules, and like I could have been writing down this whole time.
You could have been.
I'll have to do it again
next time. Do you have any idea what you would write a joke April Fool's paper about?
I mean, if it doesn't have to be like astronomy related, it would probably be similar to the Bachelor paper, or maybe like studying Vanderpump Rules is now 10 or 11 years old with most of the same cast from the beginning. So I would love to like just see if there's any predictions about like where they are today that you can draw from like the beginning of the show.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's a good genre of paper.
Yeah. Like, I think we're now, some reality shows have been on so long that I feel like we have enough data to, like, really look at something fun.
Yeah, Agreed. The same shift happened in exoplanets. Like, once we had found enough, we were interested in doing statistics on all of them at once to find these large trends. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes people send me really cringy videos about people getting stuff super wrong in space, and I would kind of want to write a paper about what it would be like if they were right. Like, I've seen this one that sticks with me is a video of someone, I think in like a clothing store, very like adamantly claiming that the moon is a star. And so I would want to write, like, what if that were true? Like, yes, what if the moon were
Let's follow
a
that for a
fusing
moment.
ball of gas? Yeah.
Totally. I love that.
Like, this just did. Our moon has turned into a star.
Yeah.
Here's what you can expect. Here's the weather forecast for the next billion years.
I love that. Cool.
We can cover this next year again.
Yeah.
And get some of the papers from this year.
We're giving our listeners a great head start on making their own for next year. Mm-hmm. And listeners, wherever you are, whether it's a green room getting ready or just chilling out, I hope you remember that you are space.
Yeah, you gotta prepare to be space, too.
Yeah, you do.
Pale Blue Pod was created by Moiya McTier and Corinne Caputo with help from the Multitude Productions team. Our theme music is by Evan Johnston, and our cover art is by Shay McMullen. Our audio editing is handled by the incomparable Misha Stanton.
Stay in touch with us and the universe by following @PaleBluePod on Twitter and Instagram, or check out our website, palebluepod.com. We're a member of Multitude, an independent podcast collective and production studio. If you like Pale Blue Pod, you will love the other shows that live on our website at multitude.productions.
If you want to support Pale Blue Pod financially, join our community over at patreon.com/palebluepod. For just about $1 per episode, you get a shout out on one of our shows and access to director's commentary for each episode. The very best way, though, to help Pale Blue Pod grow is to share it with your friends. So send this episode, this link, to one person who you think will like it, and we will appreciate you for forever.
Thanks for listening to Pale Blue Pod. You'll hear us again next week.
Bye.